With the stuff that they've been doing actually for the last few films, this looks like a star-studded rugby lineup. Hello, welcome to Star Stop. We've got the man himself, John Abraham, who's always made chappals look so cool. I remember when I came to Mumbai and I went to this really popular joint called Olive, and I saw you wearing chappals there, and I said, hey, you can wear chappals here? Of course, I wasn't allowed in. And I said, but he's being allowed in. And I said, oh, that's what a celebrity is. So I love the fact that he still wears his chappals, looks the coolest with it, and doesn't bother about if the others are watching it or not. That's why I've not worn socks today. Thanks so much, Sonakshi, for joining us. Like I said, this rugby team is sorted because actually you're the one who can actually do the highest kicks. I'll find out if you can kick higher than him. Tahir, thanks so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
And you're like the quarterback that is ready to throw the rugby ball, and John's out there to sort of mow everybody down. But this is a very physical film. Everyone's doing a lot of physicality in this. Is this the easiest part of it now, just talking about the film?
I think doing that physical part was easier.
Easier?
Yeah. I think talking about it is tougher because you know why, Salil? We have to draw the balance between saying that it's an honest and a credible film, and trying not to say that it's a good film, because that the audience decides at the end of the day. You know it. We've been through this drill 1,000
millions
times.
of times.
Yeah. So I think we've made an honest film.
But can you get carried away with, man, that's really good action, you know, because now you've seen so much of it, you know, and essentially in India, we still drool over Jason Statham's action. But we have you. So you're like the ultimate is knowing what is a good action film or not. So can you now say, yeah, man, you know, I can feel it.
Yeah, I think the film's got decent action, but I still think it's got a better story. And I think what's important is sometimes action takes away from the story. And in this, we've not let any jingoism of action take away from the story. And within that space of action, the action that Sonakshi and Tahir have done is absolutely fantastic.
I'm actually coming to that. This girl has a mean right hand, a mean kick. I haven't met you after Akira officially over here, but my God, you know, I'll tell you something. I have a family of a lot of women, and they said, ki kaun si picture dekhni hai? So the kids went to watch it also, and a lot of them, so they're big fighting fans. You know how kids just love to beat up people, right? So they were very surprised. It looked real. They said, yaar, she's looking amazing. The credit, also the box office, the fighting, the action, everything was answered. You know, a lot of people are skeptical. It'll be CG, she's not really doing it. But you must be really happy with the post credits that have come for it, no?
Absolutely. I feel with a film like that, I achieved a lot more than I asked for. You know, not only did I get to work with a great director, not only did I get to play a great role, I got to do some great action in the film, and I got to learn something new, which was mixed martial arts. And honestly, that even came in handy for this film, for Force 2. So for me, I achieved a lot, like I said, a lot more than I asked for with Akira.
You're a very brave young actor, and it's, I don't know, you know, you'll go with a dabang, which is like the big money coming in, and you know the eyeballs that come in. But very early, you suddenly decided, I don't mind doing something, and not something, lots of different things, and which normal commercial heroines might not want to do.
Yeah, I guess it all came to me from within. Yeah, I've never done anything based on what other people expect of me. Not been pressurized because of people's opinions or what they think I should be doing. I've always done things on my own terms and conditions, and I feel like right now I am ready to take on bigger challenges, do better roles, be able to carry a film on my own shoulders.
And making money really helps at the box office.
Yeah.
My picture here,
I feel like, I'm ready for it. So this is what I want to do, and honestly, it's been such a fulfilling experience since Akira, now doing Force 2, playing a great, very strong character on screen. So for me, I can't look back now. It's either this or better.
More action, that means. I have to ask you, but in the last year, what's the toughest part of the action that's been? It's the next morning waking up, or you know, having to do more or kicking more. What's been the toughest part?
I think the toughest is the stretching. You know, it's painful, and to get that level of flexibility, you have to really suffer a lot.
And we're not talking about the 10-second stretches. No. This is like proper stretching.
Stretch and hold it there, because those kicks don't get high.
So can you do a full split?
Almost, not completely, but almost there. It takes a lot of this is not something that my body was used to, right? I started learning it when I started shooting for Akira. So it takes years of practice to get to that level, So I want to get there at some point eventually. But
no, I think you're halfway there. That one kick that goes up there.
Trust me, I thought I could kick decently okay. And then I saw her in Akira do a kick. And in Force 2, we had this pregnant woman action sequence. This guy enters the door. And if Salil, you and me, if I am Sonakshi and this is John, and the guy's here. Sonakshi has lifted her
No.
leg and kicked him here.
It's in the trailer.
Really?
It's in the trailer.
No, but that's a complete one single shot
It's
done.
just a single shot, yeah. So this girl
Wow.
can really.
So why everybody clapping on the set?
No, why did they?
Because they expected it from you.
Yeah.
We know the audience.
And then you have the third gentleman on screen. One of the most quiet, strong debuts we'd seen. You belonged there. You know, a lot of people can come and get intimidated by Rani Mukherjee, can get intimidated by Bollywood itself, the Yashraj banner, and then get intimidated and lost because they don't go on a signing spree.
Sure.
You faced none of that. At least you didn't show like you faced it. And you come back in and I see you so assured in front of the screen and all that. Of course, that probably comes with training. But don't you ever question that? You know, you were there on everyone's lips. Maybe you should have gone on a bigger signing spree, or is it all a patented thing in your head that I'm going to go like this?
No, I really feel that in Bombay you can plan as much, but your plans are made for you by the universe. I'm one of those believers in it's all written. And I think the choice of a second film is as important as your first.
Possibly more.
More
also, yeah.
important. So I waited. There were a number of scripts that did come, but I didn't want to do something that was bang on similar to my first one. And at the same time, I didn't want to jump in straight into romantic because I wasn't sure whether that would be the best choice. And I
So
think
you're a guns and action kind of boy?
I'm an everything kind of boy. I don't know whether that sounds right, but no, I'm an all genre kind of actor. Let's put it that
No,
way.
so but you have to tell me the truth. When you were young,
Yes.
did you like the romantic? So let me talk about Hollywood. Did you like the
Right.
romantic heroes? Did you like the cowboys, or did you like the guns and
You know,
the
I've
mafia?
loved actors like Al Pacino, who've done Scent of a Woman and done Scarface with equal grace. I've loved DiCaprio, who's done a Titanic and done a Departed. So those were my influences growing up.
You've chosen some very good names. You can't fight with that. Very good.
Yeah. So those were really, honestly, my influences. And I think one of the great things of speaking with John and being with him is that anti-hero or dark character genre where people feel for you a little bit is something that he's explored and done so well at. Films like
Actually,
Zinda or Dhoom, he's done a lot of it.
You've never done a full-blown sweet chikna good boy. Do you ever miss that?
No.
You know?
There you have it. Honest, one word, simple.
Really?
You were asked in an interview what you would like to see John doing, and that's what I said. I said I'd like to see a proper romance,
Would you?
romantic
I don't-
films.
I don't even remember you being chikna ever. It's been so long.
Yeah, so I told someone, and this is on a flight,
Yeah.
they asked me, and I said maybe I'd want to do a romance film. And they told me 50 Shades of Grey is as far as romance as you can get.
Yeah.
And the intention was not that. The intention was just that I don't probably see myself like that. But I like films like Thank You for Smoking or The Ides of March or Descendants.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big Clooney fan. I'm a big
Yeah, that's
Pitt fan.
story-based, of course.
Very story-based. And that's as disruptive as I can get.
And
I have to-
John
yeah.
told me a really interesting thing during shoot when I asked him about action and
You
how
know,
he's been.
we'll come to that also.
Sure,
We'll
sorry,
come to
my
that a
bad.
bit. No, but I want to hear that. Just before we go, I have to say this to you. I meet stars all the time, and then everyone goes crazy about them also. But so like the men will not go crazy about a man. Okay, they'll all go crazy about Sonakshi, yeah. But John Abraham, sir, ki kya personality hai. So when he came into a radio studio a couple of days back, and people want to break the studio down, man, and you know, he's going, yeah, fine.
Oh my
and they're
God,
all-
yes, this happened
Yeah.
at your studio. I went there and all the boys have flocked to him.
Yeah, because they love you anyway. But they don't get to see much of. So you have a lot more male adulation. Does that? I mean, women are there as well, but does that feel nice?
I feel very connected. I
They don't
feel
touch your muscles on.
Yeah, I feel if men like you, you know,
Yeah.
then you last longer.
Like I'm walking out and suddenly I'm walking out and suddenly like I don't like see anyone behind me and I turn around and all the boys are like this with John and clicking selfies and I was like, oh.
And since we've spoken so much about the adulation that you have, I think she's one of the most respected young actors in Bollywood. She comes from a family that her father has been scary. You know, actually, her father is very like you. Chosen the other path always, you know.
Always,
And I told her recently, I read his book, and I said, wow, this man I want to be, man. You know, you were flipping through the pages. Now, a typical day in Sonakshi's life on a set. Any diva behavior?
No.
How do people around her? You know, she's now a very well-established star. What would you say?
I think Sonakshi and her staff reflects the kind of person she is. Fantastic staff, fantastic girl. She always came on set on time, never complained, always smiling. And I really usually choose not to comment on female actors.
Yeah.
But this girl, you know, I really love her. She's just so fantastic and she's a good girl. She's a good, positive girl. and it was a pleasure working with her.
Well, that's true, actually.
Just to add to that, like I remember the first time I met her, I said this before, was on the flight, and there was a slight thing of, you know, I'm working with a senior star, but she's come to me and said that, hi, I'm Sonakshi, and I'm so glad that you're doing the film, and just that put me so much at ease, and I think in that one statement of hers, that describes the kind of person that she is.
It's an awe moment.
It is an awe moment, slight tear coming from here.
Yeah.
But it's true. Your family is proud of you, isn't they?
They are.
And they all. What do they like most? I know your father probably doesn't discuss every film with you, but otherwise, what do they say? What do they say? What are they happiest about?
My father started watching. Otherwise, he won't watch a film at all. But he started watching my films like twice and thrice, and he'll take different sets of friends to watch it in Delhi and Bombay.
Oh, dekho, meri beti, meri shaan.
Yeah, and that's exactly. And he's become like something else. And you know, he comes and tells me that, oh, you know, first people used to tell me that, tell you that you're Shatrughan Sinha's daughter, and now people tell me that you're Sonakshi Sinha's father. So he feels so proud, and I'm really glad that I could, you know, give him that kind of happiness. And even my mom, I mean, she left her career very early on. Before she got married, and she left her dreams for marriage, which is something that I would never encourage right now. And I keep telling her that, you know, Mom, you should not have done it. But
and she's lucky. Dad became very big. Let's just put it.
No, but I mean, I get you can't define a woman based on who she's getting married to, and obviously, I mean, I think like that now. Earlier in the day, it was very different what women were fed to believe, but she feels really happy that she's able to live her dream, you know, through me. She gets to see me do these shows and dance on stage and these big films that I've been a part of and all, and she feels like fantastic.
That's awesome. You know, I think I normally don't. These 4 or 5 lines are fantastic. You know, I think when you reach a stage in your life when they start saying, so and so is so and so's father, I think that's the most beautiful thing. It's very fulfilling experience that you've been able to make your parents proud. You know, because you can make everybody else proud, but if your parents really genuinely feel proud, I think you've sort of succeeded in life. So well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
But are you a good cook like your mum is?
I don't cook at all.
That's shameful.
Because my mom is such a good cook, I've only known how to eat my entire life.
And she's looking very fit, but I have to say. So, has the food come on the set? Ever?
Yeah, it has, but...
Force her for it.
Achha, you force her?
Yeah, because this person does not eat, and he does not like anybody else eating also around him. So he's like the certified fitness trainer on set.
So are you one of those overbearing fitness people?
Yes,
That's 12 grams of carbs that you're having.
Seriously going to say that in front of us?
Did you just
John,
refuse?
please. I've known you for 10 years. I've respected you, followed you, worshipped your every word. Now come on, tell us the truth.
I tell her to eat whatever you want to, but I'm watching.
And he will make you feel like you're committing the biggest crime on the planet. There have been times he's stolen food, like he's taken food before it reaches my mouth. And
But she can't be eating pizza with cheese on it.
But
Pizza?
Tahir, what do you say? So you're super fit. Your metabolism is very quick. Would you say, were you scared and a little intimidated by John Abraham, and not for his acting or anything, but because of his physical presence and how he'll be a teacher on the set?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know whether this is the right time to say it. He's giving me the death stare at the moment. But when I first met him, the size of my thigh was the size of his bicep. I think it still is. So it is a little intimidating. But I wouldn't call it a teacher. He was just involved because it was also a part of my character to be physically able to do those chase sequences. And I learned a lot, I think, in the bargain. So which is a good thing.
When you make a film like Force 2, The Expectation 2, did you think yes, of course you get so much of goodwill because of the first part, but would you have wanted to change the name and just give it a new beginning at all?
Not at all, because it's, you know, it is ACP Yashvardhan's story, and his wife has died. And in the second part, it starts, and I can't say this on camera today, that it's someone really close to his life who's died. And that's why he gets involved, and he wants to go on this mission, but he's not trained to go. So he has to go with the senior. Because she's a raw agent, I'm a police officer. So I go on a mission with her and I take orders from her on this mission. So it's his story. And
Do you?
Yeah, of course I do.
Well, you have a problem with orders. Even in your last film, you had a problem taking orders from people in Nishum. So there's this rebellious character. I think you're writing this into the characters. You know, I'm just like the rebel and I'm going to break everything down.
Yeah, but in this, it's crazy, yeah.
Where did you break more stuff? In Nishum or in this one?
In, I think this. There's a sequence where I run through 7 doors. And we've gone through doors.
Oh, God.
We've crashed through windows.
Swung from buildings.
Is crashing through windows, as they say, that's beer glass,
Sugar
fake
glass.
glass, sugar glass. But does your mind still say, I might hurt myself?
Yeah, there's a scene in the film where John is holding my head out of a car and there are bikers chasing us and there are gunshots being fired. Psychologically, your mind still processes them as gunshots. So
And they're really loud.
And they're
when
really
it's
loud.
happening,
So it all feels real when you're in it, and that makes our job easier.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Now, when you are there, I have to ask this, when you're fighting, are you one of those I've done scenes with actors
No.
who don't know how to make it look not
Yeah.
real.
I would
So
never-
the punch, you can feel it, yeah?
I would never hurt a fly.
Yeah.
And I think touchwood, that's a pride I take. I've not even hurt a duplicate or an action person or a stuntman on set.
Super, yeah.
And they know that about me and they're very safe with me. And because I understand harnesses and I do most of the rigging myself now.
Really?
So, yeah, so I rig a lot of things, like just give you an example of Dishum. When Varun and I were in a chopper, I rigged Varun because he would have hit the back of the chopper with the velocity of the breeze. So I had to rig him in a certain way because for me, he was newer to this process and he was nervous.
Yeah.
He was practically
Yeah, 'cause
in
it's-
tears.
'cause it's real.
Yeah. So I had to rig him, make sure he's safe, and I'm very close to Rohit. And Rohit just gave me a loving look, saying that just look out for my brother. So similarly here, even he would probably not realize, but I asked a million questions before he ziplined in a certain sequence, and he did it himself. And he ziplined. I had to make sure that he is okay. You can't hurt anybody. If I'm fighting with somebody, I can't hit anybody.
It's not bravado, it's that one mistake that'll end your career.
And why do you want to give this false sense of bravado where you're hitting somebody just because you're the hero? Off the set, if he whacks you, you had it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that.
But we have to talk about the action. Is it safe now? Have we progressed enough?
No, in India, it's not yet 100% safe.
So if an actor wasn't as informed as you,
Yeah.
it'd be trouble.
In India, it would still be trouble, and no disrespect meant to the actors, to the action directors.
Yeah.
It's just the whole combination and budgets, etc. And it's just a logistical nightmare in this country. I think we need
So
to be
why would you
safer.
do that? If something went wrong, you'd break a hand, right?
And we do. Salil, you broke your hand.
And you'd have 3 months of, a lag, there'd be money wasted. So why don't we just spend more money?
People don't want to do that. If I ask you 2 questions, you answer me immediately. Have you heard of Farah Khan?
Of course.
Have you heard of Alan Amin?
I have, yes, but yeah.
But would generally
No,
an
they wouldn't know.
audience wouldn't know. Why?
Abbas Bhai also, they wouldn't know. I've done
They wouldn't
most
know.
of my
Abbas
action.
Mughal.
Yeah.
Because you give more preference to dance than to action. Because you think song and dance runs this country and not action, and to a large extent they are justified. Which is
No,
why-
but every man over here is,
No, but we spend less on action. So now, the smart thing we even did with Force 2 is we went to Budapest. We got the best action directors. We had an action director called Franz Pilaus, who's done District 9, which is a Hollywood
nice,
film.
yes.
We had Kesha from Bangkok, who did a part of our action.
That's the MMA bit as well, yeah.
Yeah, and we had Alan Amin, who did the action as well.
So they're very famous with Doom 2, with their action sequences, their blow-ups. Before Rohit Shetty was blowing them up, they were blowing it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think we've used a combination of directors, but what we've concentrated on is not only safety, but the action should match the Hollywood level of action.
And it's looking like that. Okay, so now we have to say all brilliant things about Sonakshi Sinha. When you walk in, are you scared before an action shot? Still?
No, I work in the opposite way. In fact, I get really excited because I've always grown up playing sports, and anything physical activity I really enjoy doing. So action is also part of that, right? So I really love it, and I thrive for it, and I crave for it.
That's why when I said Lara Croft, I meant it. I think you're ready to do it.
In fact, oh God, I remember there was this one scene in Tevar where they were going to harness me and throw me down that building where I go when he pushes me off the building, and Sham Kaushal was doing that scene, and they were like not conversing with me as to what was happening. So I went on set and I was like, हाँ क्या करना है? बेटा ऐसा है आपको हम बिल्डिंग से फेंक देंगे. So I said, but आप don't worry, बहुत आसान है, हार्नेस होगा. सर, श्याम जी मैं कर लूँगी, कभी करना है आप बता दो. He's like, यार मैंने पहली बार ऐसी हीरोइन देखी है जो कूदना चाहती है बिल्डिंग से. So for me it's just a thrill, I guess.
And she's a brave girl, I agree.
Yeah, but I've seen that in Hollywood, a lot more people are ready to risk a few things. I think here we're a little more scared. Tahir, would you say that as actors here we would want to preserve and prolong a little more? Even in sport we do the same, yeah?
as an actor who's doing his first big action film, for me, I know that when I see the shot on screen, that sense of pride of knowing that I contributed to it by actually doing it. There was a huge contribution from a stunt team as well, but the fact that I managed to do it just adds to my sense of
No, but
accomplishment.
honestly, I don't agree with you. I feel there they use a lot more stunt doubles and body doubles than they do over here. A lot of our actors do their stunts and stuff themselves. A lot of them.
That's great, actually. You know, if you all were wondering, like I said, they've been doing it themselves, and she can really kick higher than John Abraham, which is a question a lot of people had asked. When you came onto this film, was it an easy yes, because it was forced to?
Yeah, I think one of the scenes, the first scene that they pitched me was something you see in the trailer, which is the rooftop chase scene and being followed by helicopters and all of that. And which boy would say no to a
So they purposely pitched that scene to you.
Which,
You will be running, तुम्हारे साथ में helicopters होंगे.
Helicopter होंगे, John Abraham पीछे से भाग रहा होगा, एक terrace पे होगे, वो खींचेगा और फिर एक fall का. And it's a spy fiction film, like which guy doesn't want to do an action spy film? So
Sonakshi नीचे भाग रही होगी.
Sonakshi नीचे भाग रही होगी, of course.
So there's a spy film. There's Lara Croft in there, and we got 50 Shades of Grey in here. Force 2 it is. It'll be awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Lots of bones.
And on a parting note, I'd really like to say that Force 2 is a very important film for India because of, unfortunately, because of the recent attacks.
Yep.
But it's very credible, and a lot of the story in the film has actually been researched and got from true stories that have happened with Indian spies. So,
you know, so we have a lot of viewers across the country, you know, because B4U goes all over the place.
Right.
And I've always said this, you know, like I said, it's not about diplomatic relations or it's not about politics. It's about people. And it's a film, you know, and John's always promoted cinema, whether it's Madras Cafe or not, with research. So it is never targeted towards any one particular person. It's always targeted to a concept, and it's a film. And that's why he's like that.
I'd like to say that Force 2 is not anti any country. It's anti-terrorism. But every fact that we've got out, every character that's been nuanced, has been borrowed from true stories that have affected this country. And yes, Force 2 is a commercial film, but I would want to believe that it's also a very credible film in its content.
Your past history stands testament to that. It will definitely be well researched and rocking. Thanks again for joining me.
Thanks, Salil.
Thank you, Lara.
You.
Take care, and thanks, Tahir. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye, guys. And like I said, we'll be coming as soon as we can with our Facebook Lives. And next time, you guys can also tweet in your questions in advance. Salil Acharya or the official B4U, the two handles you need to know. Bye-bye.